Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Squeaky bum time or what, ladies and gentlemen? Why does it always have to happen like this? Why is it we've got a comfortable lead? We finally look like, you know what, we've been able to finish a game calm, feet up, lovely jubbly, finally get to relax with this team. And no. Got to concede to have squeaky bum time until the very last flipping second. But there are things to discuss. There are points to get through. So we're going to get into it. It's a high-scoring game in the end. And I think this was the indicator when Chelsea got the first goal pretty early on. This was were we going to hold on to a 1-0 lead? Absolutely not. Were Newcastle going to score at some point? Most likely, yeah. You just knew if that was going to happen all in the first half, second half, what's going to happen? There was chances for a high-scoring game, and we got one. 3-2 to Chelsea in the end, and there are unexpected things that happened during this game that I think we got to focus on. The first half, we get a very early goal, right? A very early goal, and to be fair, courtesy of Nicholas Jackson, with a very nice flick. Now, I do like when I see strikers finish like that. When they have those little moments that comes out of nowhere and the instinct does the talking. That was the instinct doing the talking for Jackson. He just didn't even make so much contact with the ball, but just a little flick, a little gentle touch on the ball. And in fact, what was bizarre about this goal is I honestly think Dubravka possibly should have been getting closer to it. Because if the ball had just been left, it probably would have gone into the bottom corner courtesy of Cole Palmer. But Jackson's little flick actually brought the ball closer to Dubravka and he still didn't make the save. But in terms of the way that Jackson's processing that as a striker with his back to goal, it's a clever idea and it's a clever finish. And he did manage to slot it into the bottom corner and he does take the goal. So it 1-0 Chelsea very early on. And this is where, I don't know about you, I'm on the watch along, and shout out to everyone that was on the watch along, but I'm on the watch along and I'm screaming and I'm like, okay, listen, we need a second goal. We need a second goal. Get me a second goal. That way we can go at halftime into the dressing room calm. Because we know what we're like when we come out for second halves nowadays. It's like sometimes we just don't know how to play football anymore. You know, it just looks like we just lose all mental capacity. We don't know what's A from B. We don't know what left from right is. And we don't know what right from wrong is. And we just go absolutely crazy. So this was the fear. Coming in towards the end of the first half, Newcastle get that goal. Isak with, well, you could argue, Gusto mistake, who was having a very good game up until that goal. Up until that part of the first half, Gusto was playing brilliantly on that right-hand side. That right-hand side looked very covered. Gusto and Palmer. Gusto, Palmer. The two players this season that have been the most consistent, I think we can all agree. 100%. So you felt safe, and they were playing really well. Left-hand side, Cucurella Sterling. I'll get to that. But the goal comes from our right-hand side, funnily enough. The one little error that Gusto makes, and all of a sudden, Isak's in on goal. He takes on Disasi. Enzo can't stop. Enzo's poor today as well. But anyway, Disasi can't stop Isak. He drags him on the outside, cuts in, slots it into the bottom corner. Petrovic's view is blocked by Disasi, and it's 1-1. Going into half-time, it's the worst possible thing we could have asked for. Because you just know what this Chelsea team are capable of. You know what Potter's capable of. We come out for the second half, we don't know what we're doing. Instead of going in 2-0 up, we go in 1-1, and I'm panicking. At this point, I'm panicking. You know? So we go in at halftime, we come out for the second half, and I'm just praying that we don't go left. You know, that we don't capitulate. And it looked like there were a couple of moments where we started off the second half slow. Not too long afterwards, though, one action, ball into Palmer, edge of the box, very tight space, hits it, takes the shot from outside of the box, which is something we don't do very often now. Or when we do, it's just a very soft, straight pass to the goalkeeper. It's not even a shot. I don't even classify it as a shot. How many times do you see Chelsea players from outside the box hit it and it trickles to the goalkeeper? You know, it's a very basic, flat, low, straight to the keeper. It doesn't even classify as a shot. Palmer, though, this time, taking a shot, bottom corner, 2-1. Thank you very much. Up until this point, Sterling was having a shocking game. Him and Cucurella, but Sterling was worse. Cucurella, you could argue at least defensively, sometimes he was getting stuck in and, but aside from that, he was having a poor game. Sterling, horror show. And then Sterling gets a one-on-one. A one-on-one. Past the defender. Controls. Ball's up in the air. Still gets it ahead of him with his head. Now you have a one-on-one. And he fluffs it again. Do you remember the time when he had a one-on-one and he had support next to him? He had, who was it? Was it Jackson and Palmer? Or Gallagher? I forgot who it was. But he could have squared it and it would have been a goal. And he chose to go for the shot and he fluffed it, yeah? Same situation. Without much of the support, but same situation. Fluffs it. Of course he misses. For me, you're coming off immediately at that point. We wait a little bit and then Pochettino does the right thing and takes off Raheem Sterling. Fantastic. Beautiful. For once, I can say, Pochettino, good sub. Fully agree. Brings on Mudryk. Fully agree. Cool. Not too long after, we get a goal. Now I'll come to that. But Sterling Cucurella, that left-hand side, was dreadful. Palmer Gusto on the right-hand side was very good. So we've got a decision to make now, going forward, because this can't continue on the left-hand side. And if we're talking about Cucurella as well, he was responsible for Newcastle getting one back. We'll get to that in a bit. I honestly think what I said in the preview of trying Mudryk in the 10 is what I feel like we need to run with now. And lo and behold, when he came on, he was brought on as a winger to replace Sterling, but when you look at how he scored that goal, the third goal, not too long after he came on, Jackson on the left-hand side, where I think he should be playing more now, manages to get the ball into, was it Palmer? But Mudryk was able to nick the ball, run with it, get past two, look up, see the goalkeeper coming towards him, takes the decision, goes around the goalkeeper, slots it in, sends the ball and the defender into the net. Beautiful goal from Mykhailo Mudryk. So, I see a goal like that. It screams initiative. He took the initiative. Running down the middle into the box, he takes the ball, grabs it, he nicks it, runs past two, takes the decision. He could have easily said, you know what, I'm panicking here. Let's slot the ball into the bottom corner because I ain't got a choice here. No. He goes around the goalkeeper and he executes it and he slots it in. Beautiful goal. And he meant every bit of that. You can see, it's obvious. He meant every single bit of that. So, he scored that goal, penetrating himself down the middle straight into the box. Much like how we saw against Leeds, which is the reason why in the preview I suggested we've got nothing to lose. We might as well try Mudryk in the 10 because I was under the impression that Gallagher would be ill. He played today, but I've got to be honest here. Mudryk now deserves a chance to play in the 10. In the 10. And run with it. Who knows? Maybe we find one solution in this team. Maybe there's one solution that we can fix here. Maybe. The next game is Leicester. You have my word. The preview for that game, the lineup that I'm going to put, Mudryk is in the 10. And Jackson's on the left. And I'll tell you who I'll stick up front because there was one name mentioned on the watch along and I forgot about him. I forgot he existed and I was like, you know what? I think we might as well go for it. Why not? This is where we might have at least, it won't be the be all and end all. It won't get us, I don't believe it'll get us European football. But it's one small solution we can try and incorporate. And I think Mudryk now should get a chance to play in that position rather than on the wing where he can be too predictable, too one-dimensional. And I feel like in this role, maybe we are able to get more going forward and more chances of goals by having him in the 10. So fair play to Mudryk when he came on. He absolutely steals the headlines and he deserves a chance, I feel like, going forward. But not straight after, all right? It was a little after, 76 and then into the 90th minute, the 89th. We concede. Cucurella, just asleep. Poor decision making. And it's a wonderful hit from Murphy. He grabs the ball, taps it a couple of times, smashes it into the top bins. Beautiful, beautiful hit. And we have 6 minutes added on at that point. I mean, it's squeaky bum time. We can never do things calmly. But this is where we have to talk about that entire left-hand side today was so vulnerable. And look, let's see what's going to happen with Chilwell, and let's see what's going to happen with our other options on the left-hand side. But Cucurella, poor today. But like I said, Sterling took the cake in terms of just how bad a player can look. I got to be honest, Enzo looked dreadful. Caicedo, better. Caicedo, at least you could see with Caicedo, I feel like his distribution wasn't brilliant. It was okay. But Caicedo was winning the ball often. Caicedo was getting stuck in. Sometimes a little too much. Sometimes a little too rash. Sometimes he gets a yellow way too easily. And in places where you give the opportunity to score from a set piece. It's just reckless. If he times himself better with his tackles and his positioning, I feel like he has enough in the tank to be able to win the ball off the opposition. He does that well enough, it seems. But sometimes he does it too recklessly, too drastically, too, as Matisse would say, too bombastically. It's crazy. That's the only flaw. And apart from that, he was fine. Enzo, though, dreadful. All over the park. Just no clue whatsoever today. Positioning's off. Passing's off. Defensively getting bypassed. He was letting everyone through. Everything was off about Enzo. He looked like he did not know what he was doing. So this is where there's so much inconsistencies. But the players that deserve praise today, I honestly feel like, are Palmer, Gusto, same suspects, of course. I feel like Petrovic, to a certain extent, didn't have too much to do, but you can never really put much blame on Petrovic. And Mudryk, he come on, he made a difference, and the headlines will be on Mudryk today. So fair play, deserved, absolutely deserved. If I look at anyone else that I feel like I'm possibly missing, I'm probably not. The defense didn't look brilliant, if we're being honest, in terms of Disasi and Chalobah, especially Chalobah. Apart from that, yeah, Jackson, positive game. But like I said, going into the next game, I really want to find a way in order for us to play him as a left winger. I don't really want to keep playing him up top as a striker. I want to play him as a left winger. I feel like he's going to be much more effective there. So when we get to the preview for Leicester, you're going to see what my idea is. And let's see if you agree or disagree. So let me know down below your thoughts on the game today. We get the win. Unfortunately, this win doesn't take us anywhere. We started in 11th. We've won today. We are still in 11th. But we're 1 point behind Newcastle now with a game in hand. However, that game in hand is against Arsenal. So just to let you guys know, we've got 2 games that we haven't played because they've been postponed. That's Arsenal and Tottenham. So we've still got to play those 2 games. Those are going to be the games. Specifically, the Arsenal one is the game in hand. And we are 1 point off Newcastle, 2 points off Wolves, 3 points off Brighton. The goal difference is +4 to Brighton. And 4 points from West Ham. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We needed a result today to keep, like I said in the preview, to keep holding on to that thread, at least. Just that thread. No win today and it would have cut the thread. It would be game over. League is finished. But this has prolonged things just a little bit further. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. Next game is Burnley. In the meantime, we see where the Arsenal and the Tottenham games are going to be rescheduled because they have to be fit in somewhere. So we will see. But the next game is the FA Cup. And you best believe that is a must-win. That is the must-win. The cup competition is the route to the European spot. If we win the FA Cup, we get Europa League. Are we going to win the FA Cup? Very, 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 very difficult. Very difficult to go all the way with the teams that are still involved. But it's our only way because I don't feel like it's going to happen from the league. So let me know your thoughts down below. But do you believe that we might have at least found one small solution in this team by now playing Mudryk in the 10? Let me know your thoughts. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you on the preview. Well, I'll see you on the preview before the FA Cup final. But FA Cup final? Flipping, I wish. Quarterfinal. Quarterfinal. But I will see you tomorrow for more content. You'll be getting a video or maybe 2. So I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. See you lot tomorrow. Take care and peace.